Hey folks, welcome into the News 12 Now desk. Thanks for joining us here for the News 12 Fastcast. It is 7 o'clock on our Tuesday, May 21st. Big day here in Georgia. It is primary day, so election day here. Not a presidential primary, but county, local officials up for grabs. Multiple seats here, 5 commission seats, the DA's office. We've also got the sheriff's race in Richmond County. We've got whether the mayor should have a vote on commission. That is all on the ballot today. But despite all of those things that are on the ballot, officials say turnout has been pretty low. Board of Elections Director Travis Doss says they've seen about 7.8% of eligible voters vote either in person or absentee. That was early voting, of course, so we still have all day today. A number below where they saw in 2022 when only 5 commission seats and then the mayor, the actual mayor's race, were on the ballot, when 10% came out to vote there. Leaders with the Board of Elections say they worry by the end of the day only 25% of the county is expected to come out, and they can't tell if it's voter apathy or giving voters too many options, because for early voting, voters had multiple locations open for them to cast their vote, much different than in previous years.
As far as advanced voting is concerned, we had 4 sites open for a total of 18 days. Previous times, we've only had 1 site open, and then we opened up the satellite sites for just that last week.
And polls are open from 7 to 7 today, so they just opened up at the top of the hour. We do have information about how you can get an affordable ride to the polls through Augusta Transit up on our website. And if you check out right here, scan this code right there on your screen. This will take you to our website where we will have everything that you need to know about voting. This will also take you to a My Voter page for Georgia, and you can find your who's on your ballot for your local area, because, you know, like I said, commissioners, so it's going to be different based on where you are in Augusta, and your polling location as well, which could be different from your polling location if you voted early. So just a heads up there. Don't forget South Carolina, yours is coming up as well. There's still time to plan here. Early voting starts a week from today, May 28th. It ends on June 7th. You have until May 31st at 5 o'clock to apply for an absentee ballot. You can check out your sample ballot, where to vote, and more on scvotes.gov. The nonprofit Gangs in Peace hosted a roundtable last night to discuss how to lower crime rates and put kids on the right track. The nonprofit says their role is to be the bridge between what's really happening on the streets and the people who are able to do something about it. State Representatives Jermaine Johnson and Bill Clyburn were also there to speak with the community about finding solutions for major issues. Now, as you can see, the chairs in the room were in a circle, so everyone was included and heard. Some topics brought up included gun control. Representative Johnson says last night's roundtable was a conversation to flip the script.
I've heard a lot of complaints and things about issues going on in Aiken County, and I wanted to make sure that people down here understood that somebody like myself is hearing their issues, is hearing their concerns, and is willing to work for them and make sure that, you know, their voice is being heard.
A few goals Johnson hopes to turn into a reality: create a community counselor for kids in the area and add resource centers. A Hepzibah woman and an Augusta woman are behind bars this morning and facing charges in connection to a relationship involving an inmate and an officer. The Department of Corrections says 23-year-old Angel Butler failed to report sexual misconduct. Reports say Butler knew about a relationship involving an officer and inmate but failed to report it. The name of the officer involved was excluded from the report, but officials say Jayana Finney of Augusta was fired and charged for having a sexual relationship with an inmate at the McCormick Correctional Institution. 2 people have died. Another person is injured after a car crashed into a log truck during a police chase. Troopers say the crash happened yesterday afternoon just before 1:30 on Highway 25 near the National Wild Turkey Federation. A log truck was heading south on Highway 25 when a Honda Civic involved in a chase drove off the side of the road trying to pass a car. The Civic then went back on the road, hitting the truck head on. The driver and passenger of the Civic died, while the driver of the log truck was taken to the hospital. SLED is charging a former Aiken County deputy coroner accused of stealing prescription drugs from the dead. 60-year-old Alton Smith is facing misconduct in office, possession of a controlled substance, and more. Back in August, we told you Smith resigned from the job shortly after the allegations emerged. He was immediately placed on administrative leave. He was booked into the Aiken County Detention Center yesterday, but made bond on both charges. This morning, Burke County deputies are looking for this man. They say Billy Farmer was last seen in Sardis Friday, but his family says they haven't seen him in more than a week. He's possibly wearing a blue shirt, blue jeans, and a brown jacket, and he may have a Bible with him. If you have any information about him or see him, they want you to give authorities a call. We're learning more details as Richmond County authorities investigate how a mother and her son died. On Saturday, deputies went to a home on Chase Creek Court, not far from the Grovetown area, to investigate. The coroner says 30-year-old Tiara Jennings and her son were found dead. A report from the sheriff's office says she was found face down on the floor with the child on its back, and both had discoloration on their faces. Officials say an autopsy has been scheduled. Scotty Scheffler's Kentucky court appearance has been postponed. Scheffler is set to be arraigned in charges including felony assault on a police officer, criminal mischief, and reckless driving. Scheffler, who was handcuffed and briefly jailed on Friday, was due in court today, but a judge postponed that court date until June 3rd. Scheffler's attorney says the case is a misunderstanding and the golfer never disobeyed any officer's commands. North Augusta City Council unanimously approving upgrades for 2 of the city's trolleys last night. They say they want to replace them because of long-term safety concerns. Officials say they anticipate to have the first trolley replaced by next year, and the second will be paid by the voting referendum. The new Kroger Marketplace near Gordon Highway is just about ready to open its doors. They will be open for business at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Good news for folks in the area, the gas station is already open. Kroger will host a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Wednesday at 7:30 in the morning with all of their community partners. Happening today, Aiken County voters have another chance to weigh in on how to spend a 1% sales tax for renovations and improvements to schools. Aiken High, North Augusta High, Lavelle McCampbell Middle, and Rich Spring Monetta's K-12 campus have seen major renovations with that same tax money. Tonight's meeting will be at Langley Bath Clearwater Middle School at 6 p.m. That voters can decide in November whether to keep the tax going, that penny sales tax, that 1% tax going or not. If you're a parent with a child of special needs, there's a summer camp you may want to know about. Love and Care ECC Special Needs Services in Evans is holding the camp May 28th through August 2nd. Activities include music and motion, life and social skills, a state-of-the-art sensory room, sensory stations, and an outdoor playground. Spots are still open for you to register. We spoke with the director about why camps like this one are so important to special needs families.
We keep a small group so that we have a smaller ratio and we're able to do a lot more hand-in-hand interaction with the children, so they're not overwhelmed by the number of kids that are in the group with them.
You can register online at loveandcareecc.com. We'll also be putting that on our website, WRDW.com, so be sure to check that out. That's where you can find these stories and much more. You can also download our WRDW streaming app and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything that we have going on. It's going to wrap things up for the Fastcast this morning. We'll have Morning Mix coming up at 9 o'clock. The next Fastcast will be at 11:50, right before our midday show. Thanks for tuning in.